Hello everybody, this is Howard the Teaserking. Just want to talk to you about upcoming season for football. In college there's 4 games kind of on 8/26, and then 8/31 is like a Thursday, the season kind of starts, and then the following week's like 9/1, 9/2 is all the games. If you buy the week, which is only $75, I reduced the price down from $100. You'll get both. You'll get the 4 games, well, whatever I pick, on 8/26 plus all the 9/1 and 9/2 weeks action. So they're not going to be separate weeks. They'll be the same week. So 75 will get you both weeks of that. I'd like to talk to you about the game of the week that I'm going to put out, and it's going to be Alabama and Florida State. My last video I was talking about winners and losers, and basically Alabama is like the epitome of the optimal winner. They plug anybody in at quarterback, they plug anybody in. It's a system, and they play strong defense. They run the ball. Running the ball keeps the defense rested. Hurts comes in, you can't cover him. The guy is extremely fast, he's an extremely good runner, and he can throw the ball. They got Ridley, and they got a good tight end, so Alabama should be, balanced enough that it's going to be hard in the guy's second year. Florida State has their quarterback back, and they have a really good team, but I think like last year when Alabama played USC and put up a 50 on him, which nobody could have expected. Now, Darnell didn't start, but I blame the coach on that. Why didn't he? If he was the better quarterback, you got to play the better players. You can't. Well, he's a senior and he's a freshman. I can't play him. Then you lose 52-6. So the keys in the game are, I think Alabama's defense is going to be too much for Florida State. Alabama knows how to win. Not that Florida State doesn't, but the Florida State game against Louisville, and Louisville put up 60 on them. They couldn't handle Lamar Jackson. And Hurts is just as good, if not a better runner than Lamar Jackson. And therefore, it's going to be very difficult for Florida State to stop him. But then you got Alabama's defense, and the Florida State quarterback is not, he's a kind of a good running quarterback, but he's not a passing one. And what is the problem? How do you beat Alabama? Well, Ole Miss did it almost 3 years in a row with Chad Kelly. Now, Chad Kelly scrambles, but he's a great passer. Why he didn't get drafted, I don't know if it's because he got injured or what. That guy, I hear the guys bitching there's no quarterbacks in the NFL, and you look at some of these teams, the quarterbacks they have. And here's this guy, Chad Kelly, Jim Kelly's nephew. This guy beat Alabama twice and put up 43 on him the third year. Okay, what do you want, man? This guy's a stud. I mean, he's what you're looking for. But that's how you beat Alabama. The Johnny Manziel, he could scramble around, but he was a good thrower. The guy on Florida State, I apologize for the name. He's not, he's not really that good of a thrower. He's a better runner. And Florida State will have running backs to replace Cook. But again, they're young and freshmen, have never played against Alabama. And Alabama's going to sock them in the mouth right away, because that's what Alabama does. So you don't have to worry about Alabama's defense. It's going to be loaded with NFL talent. They got running backs. Hurts has proven he's a good quarter. Came back against Clemson, who I'm sure had a better defense than Florida State's in the big game. He showed his wear in the big game. This is the beauty of teasers. And when people ask me, well, you can't win with teasers and da-da-da-da-da with teasers, here's where I try to prove them that I know what I'm doing, and here's how you win with teasers. Alabama's laying 7 to Florida State. Just cut it down to 1. All you're saying is Alabama win the game. Now, if you're betting the game in a normal bet, even in a parlay, you got Alabama laying 7. They got to win by more than 7. Well, they could, but your odds on Alabama -1 have got to be so dramatically better than Alabama laying 7 against a good Florida State team. I mean, this is, a very good team. But I just think they don't have the right type of quarterback to beat him. I know he's a scrambler, but he's not that great of a thrower. He's not a Chad Kelly, even Manziel, but Manziel in college. And he'd make a lot of scrambling plays and hit the guy down the field. And I don't see the Florida State guy doing that. The game's in Georgia, so it's a neutral game. Alabama is a road favorite. It's something like 14-1. They're just incredible as a road favorite. I mean, they had one loss, and they lost to Clemson. So I think maybe they're 14-2, but they're very strong as a road favorite because you go on the road, they run the ball. The quarterbacking is good, not great, but good. In this case, the guy's a great runner, and their defense shows up. And it's a big game. They've been there. Florida State hasn't been there for a while, losing to Clemson the last 2 years. So when they got into the big game, they lost. And here, you're only laying 1 point. So Teaserking's first free pick of the year, take Alabama laying 1 against Florida State. And I'll give you the second part of the teaser. I don't have over-unders yet, so I can't give you that. So I'm going to give you what I think is the second part. In my pick, I'm going to take, let's see, who do I want to take? Well, I got about 9 or 10 of them that I like. All right, let's take the Virginia Tech-West Virginia game. I got Virginia Tech laying 4.5 in Virginia. And I really like West Virginia in the 10.5 here. You're getting more than 10. They got the quarterback. West Virginia, they both have lost their quarterbacks, but West Virginia got Greer from Florida, who's a good quarterback. I think this game is dead even. I think West Virginia plays all the SEC school or all the Big 12 schools, the Texas, the Oklahomas, Oklahoma State. This shouldn't scare them. It's a big rivalry game. In the rivalries, I like the Dogs. Virginia Tech's lost their quarterback. They should have a good defense, but they're not a high-scoring team. They might be, but not in this game and without their quarterback. The first question you ask is, can West Virginia win? Absolutely. They go to Baylor and TCU and Texas and Oklahoma. So to go on the road. Here it's more of a backyard game. Virginia Tech without their quarterback. They got a great coach. He's a good offensive-minded. But they don't have the quarterback. Who knows who he is? So here, you're asking for a quarterback in his first start to go ahead and not only win the game against West Virginia, but blow them out, right? The beauty of the teaser, right? They got to win by over 11 points. So it's not just win the game, it's win by 11. Now I'm going to do a reverse on you. All right, let's say you want to bet Virginia Tech plus 1.5. Would you make that bet with a new quarterback, fairly sound defense, going against West Virginia with a good quarterback, a great running back, and what should be a very good defense, and a team that plays a big conference teams, and they see all the passing. So Virginia Tech's not going to surprise them, but you don't have a quarterback that's there. So would you take Virginia Tech plus 1.5? This is how you bet teasers. I wouldn't touch Virginia Tech plus 1.5 against West Virginia, which means that I must like West Virginia plus 1.5. Now I can get them plus 10.5. West Virginia, good road dog. Virginia Tech's got the new coach, who's a good offensive-minded coach, and you see Virginia Tech did well last year, and I think they'll do well this year. But the guy has got to, give the new quarterback 3 or 4 games to get settled. It's still got to be hard. Your first game in college, maybe you practiced and you did well in high school, but until you get the speed of the game, that first game you don't expect this guy's going to be a superstar. Very few. I don't know if Montana was. Brady wasn't his first game. It takes him a while. So I think this is what I look for. is the game even, or is there a for sure winner? And I look at this game as dead even. The fact it's in Virginia Tech, it's West Virginia, it shouldn't be a problem. Um, and I like the spread at 10.5 over, so you get over 10. But even if they are losing, they're down 17, they score a touchdown, it's 10, you got a winner. So, but I don't see that happening. I think it'll be a real close game. I think it'll be like a 24-23 score or something like that. So there's your teaser. Compliments of Teaserking, doing what I do. Take Alabama -1, take West Virginia plus 10.5. Shop around, make sure you get that half. I get asked, I play 7-point teasers, I play 10-point teasers, what do you recommend? And my response is, I play 6-point teasers. All my trends are in 6-point teasers. So I'll trend this game with West Virginia plus 10.5, Virginia Tech 1.5. I'll see the final, and that's how I score it, right? Did they win plus 10.5? Did they win plus 1.5? But what I see is, if the spread was like, as long as I'm getting over 10, if I'm getting 10.5, why do I need a 7-point teaser to get 11.5? And are my odds good enough for the extra point? I mean, the odds on them winning by 11 versus 10 are so slim, because 10's the solid point, a field goal, and a touchdown, that I don't see any reason in the world to lose odds on your bet to take a 7-point teaser to get 11.5 instead of a 6-point teaser to get 10.5. I don't see that. So in my mind, there's no reason to play a 7-point teaser. Now, like, if Alabama goes to 9, I would say play a 7-point teaser, play them down to 2, get them under 3, then yes, I would play a 7-point teaser to get 9 down to 2. Otherwise, Alabama 7, lay the 6, cut them to 1. It's basically you're saying they're going to win. And at worst case, if you're really unlucky and they win by 1, you get a push, you don't lose in the teaser. So that's my point. College teasers, bet at William Hill, there's no juice. If you're in Vegas, that's where you want to go for college teasers. Of course, you want to shop the line, but with no juice, you can't go wrong. There's other games I like, but I'm waiting on over-unders. And I'm dying to see, how these teams are going to play. But I got to see the quarterback first and see what how these new quarterbacks are, as I explained. So anyway, go to www.teaserking.com. Like I said, college, I've made $75 a week now. All my prices are out there. Pros are still 100, but I was 80% in that. And we'll go from there. If you buy the whole week, you get all the locks. The pro and the college, I've lowered from 150 to 135. The whole year, I've got everything for 1,500. And if you want just the locks, I think it's $7 or $750. But everything's there. And if you have any questions, please let me know. My email is on the Teaserking site. And happy to help my customers with, who do you like in the, in the Army-Navy game. I'll certainly be happy to help that. If you want my consulting services, I'm going to make that $25. And so what you get is you ask, you're not a customer, you buy that, you want to walk through some game. Maybe you have 10 games and you're like, Howard, I just want to get your opinion on these games because I want a second opinion from a professional, and I'll be happy to give you the second opinion. So that's what I'll do. Again, I do the free teaser here every week, and they were really hot last year. I think I hit the last 12 of them. The only one I missed was the stupid Michigan-Ohio State overtime game that I still can't believe went over. And I think I did a 3-teamer on the NFL in the last week, and I lost with Baltimore losing, but I hit the Minnesota over Chicago and I think New England. Anyway, I do post them. The picks are always available I usually for the weekend post them like Thursday for college and maybe Friday for the pros. Um, but I do add, if I get news like Sunday morning for the pros, somebody's injured, it's raining, the spread moves, where I like the favorite now. So one team's favored by 2, and then the line jumps to the other team favored by 2. But I like now the team getting the 2. I like +8. I'll add that bet. And I'm just trying to be live and proactive. So when I see a line move that I really like, and I'll do the same thing when I'm in Vegas. If I see the line move and it's a quarter to 12, Vegas, Eastern time, and they make a line movement, and now it makes my pick more attractive, I'll bet it again. So the goal here is to win, and if we see the spread get favorable for us, I'll post it, and it might be 12 o'clock on Sunday for the 1 o'clock NFL, or it could be Saturday afternoon. Maybe the early game is significant for the late game. Maybe USC's playing Notre Dame. USC loses. Now here's Washington, and it's got the night game, and now Washington wins the Pac-12 if they get the win. Now let's bet Washington now. So like sometimes you're waiting to see what happens. Then it makes the late game more valuable. So I will do that. So I'm keeping an eye on everything so I can get the best chance to win. All right, everybody. Have a great season. Good luck to everybody. Again, this is Howard, the Teaser King. www.teaserking.com is the website. My email is on there for questions, and all the prices are up there. So please feel free to email me with any questions or comments. All right, have a great summer, and I look forward to a big, big year with all my new methods in college. I mean, I still have my old methods. I've added like 1 or 2 new methods. But the more methods, the better to try to weed out the losers. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you.